Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today is the 15th of October. Today is Wednesday and this is the trade breakdown for today. Guys, so it's a bit frustrating to make one step forward and take two steps backward. That is what happened to me between today and yesterday. Yesterday I had a good trading day, and today I gave back all the profits and plus $100. So I'm down $500. I hit my daily max loss on my top step account. I'm down minus $500 for the day, with some mistake here and there, but guys, it's still, you know, kind of uplifting to see that my model is playing out. So guys, today I was bullish on the day, and the reason for my bullish bias was from the forward time frame. When I came into the chart, about on this candle here, we had this breakaway gap on ES. You could see it, that we had these two fair value gaps stacked on top each other with a breaker which is low, high, lower, low, and we displace above the highs. So at least I wanted to see price manipulated back down into this fair value gap, then push higher. Next confluence for my bullish price bias, but at least we were bearish before going bullish. But I was bullish, but I wanted to see manipulation before the distribution of higher prices. So a next confluence for the lower prices would have been the gap. We open with a gap below, so I wanted to see some of that gap got filled. The next confluence was that we were in a deep premium. We were above the both open at 9:30. We were here, and here is 8:30 open and Monday's first presented fair value gap. We had 12 o'clock midnight. It was right in the middle of Monday's first presented fair value gap. Guys, the normal thing what we do when we come into the market is that we mark out our 7 a.m., our 8:30 a.m. and the lows and highs between 7 a.m. and 8:30 a.m. So this was our low here, this was our high here. And we do the same for ES as well. We mark out our lows and highs between 7 a.m. and 8:30 a.m. So we had this being the highest high and this being our lowest low between 7 a.m. and 8:30 a.m. So we open in a premium. So it was all playing out. My bias was all playing out because we open above the 8:30 open, which is this blue line here. And I wanted to see price go down to a discount, which would be the 4-hour fair value gap, which is here, this one here, and we had this breakaway gap. I would not want to see this completely filled up, so I would want price to manipulate lower, take the lows between 7 a.m. and 8:30 a.m. and distribute higher. And that's what we got, but it was a little choppy with a few mistakes. So at open, so that price was trading lower. I wanted to take a high. I have the recording. Let's go to the recording here. So this is the recording. This was at open, me checking the gap. I was checking the gap. You see that we had a huge gap. I measured the gap here, and price was trading lower on NQ while it was trading higher on ES. So all in all, that would have been good. We would have an SMT, and I was anticipating this SMT to see that price would have taken out the 7 a.m. to 8:30 lows, and it would have stayed intact on ES, and that was exactly what price did. So let's go further. As you can see, NQ is trading lower while ES is trading higher. At this moment, NQ took the the 7 o'clock to 8:30 lows. As you can see, this blue line here is the lows on ES and it's not taken, so I had my SMT here. This is a high confluence for my trades, and then if we make SMT at these 7 a.m. between 7 a.m. and 8:30 lows. So as NQ took the lows and ES didn't, and NQ start displacing higher. So I marked out the 9:30 first presented fair value gap. I wanted to see NQ traded above this. ES was the stronger pair, so I was taking my trade. I was going to take my trade on ES. So I saw that NQ was displacing. As NQ was displacing, I took 3 contracts with my stop below the SMT, the higher low on the SMT. It would have been the lower low on ES. So as you can see, NQ took the lows, ES didn't. So I took my trade on the highest, the stronger pair, which was ES, looking for 1 to 2 RR. Price went in my favor. Price was moving beautifully. I was very confident in this trade because price was moving beautifully, displacing up, came back down. We had a huge push down with this candle here, but it was respecting ES first presented fair value gap, and then we had this huge push up, so that gave me confidence, and NQ here was breaking above the first presented fair value gap, so I was highly confident in this. We had our SMT, we made the next SMT also with ES again, and at this moment we took the highs. So there was SMT now at the top and SMT at the bottom, because NQ highs was intact, ES just took it highs. And normally I would have trailed my stop to BE, but we had already SMT at the low, so I was confident in my trade because of the SMT at the lows already. So that's why I didn't trail my stop, because ES took the highs and NQ didn't. And price actually came and reversed on me, took me out. At this moment here, at this moment, the lows, the SMT at the lows was invalidated. The lows, the SMT at the lows was invalidated, and at this moment, when SMT, we have SMT at the low and SMT at the highs, and one get invalidated, price normally turn around and trade in that direction. So the SMT at the lows here was invalidated when price came down and took this low right here, and now we had SMT at the highs. So I flipped my bias, thinking that price wanted to trade back down to the discount to 12 o'clock open, which was the discount before going higher. And this is where I made a huge mistake. Watch what happened, guys. Yes, we took it on the mini, on NQ mini we took it. On ES mini we did not. We made equal lows. We made equal lows in ES, while we took it on the micro ES. As you can see, price traded below here. You see price traded below the lows between 7 a.m. and 8:30, but on the mini chart we made equal lows. As you can see, this is the highest candle here. If you watch up here, if you watch here, and you see the lows, the low here is 6724.25. This low here 674.25. So we did not take the low here, so we had SMT here. Still, there was still SMT here, but on the micro it got invalidated, and that's why I looked for a short, because we had SMT at the highs and the SMT at the lows was invalidated. So as soon as I saw that, and I saw that the lows was invalidated, I then switched my bias and was looking for short prices. And seeing that NQ was the weaker pair, I took the trade on NQ. But one thing that could have saved me from making this trade, there was no fair value gap breaking these lows. There were no fair value gap. And the next mistake that I made, I took out 3 micro contracts, and that was an oversized. I was risking close to $500, $468. I went in too heavy with this trade because I was so confident. Normally when this happened, price normally plummets down. So that's why I took 3 of this contract. That is where my maximum loss for the day got hit, and it took me out of the trade. So guys, it's just bad luck in this trading. And as I saw that price was displacing here, my trade, I checked the mini, and I saw that we didn't take out the lows here on the mini chart, and price continued in my favor, and there would have been my entry in this fair value gap right here. There would have been my re-entry here in this fair value gap. This would have been my re-entry for higher prices, and a 1 to 2 risk to reward would have hit easily on today's trading. As you can see, price just displaced higher. So that's the breakdown for today, guys. I'm done, but I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up on this trading journey. So if you find this educational, if you find this was insightful, if you learned anything for this video, please like, share and subscribe to the channel. Peace out. So guys, I got this lovely trade on my practice account, knowing that we were above the 8:30 and the 12 o'clock noon. We were in a deep discount, and price did not trade back. Price did not trade back to discount before going higher. When price traded up, and one thing I realized again, guys, when price normally displays in one direction, not giving you a chance to get in, as you can see, there were no chances here to get in other than this small fair value gap right here. On ES was the stronger pair. We just kept displacing higher. For this was the only chance to get in terms of a fair value gap. So when price normally do that, we normally reverse. That is a manipulation leg. When you see price displacing in one direction, not giving you a chance to enter, that is normally a manipulation leg. That is what I realize and suspect with the market. So seeing that we were going sideways at the top of this range, and we made this intermediate high. Intermediate high is a high with 2 short-term highs on the sides. We had this created on NQ, and we made SMT also. We made SMT here, ES making SMT, and we displace below this low with a fair value gap. That is an entry to at least the equilibrium, or at least discount of this range. Discount of this range to at least here. 50% of the range would have been here. By surprise, displace through 50%, took partials here, trail my stop after, and price dumped, guys. Price dumped. Where did price dumped to discount? We went under the 12. We went under the 12 midnight open, and we went under, and then we reverse. We went under NQ, we went under, went into discount. We have the 12 noon on NQ here, we traded on below it and we reverse, and now we are seeing higher prices being delivered on NQ. We might just hit discount of this range and turn and continue the bearish price action, which would be, here we are above discount, we are above the 50% on NQ, so we could just reverse here. But as you can see, price did trade back down to discount of the range. So thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to subscribe, like, share and subscribe this video if you find this video was insightful, if you find this video was educational, if you learned anything from this video. Please like, share, subscribe to the channel. Peace out.